Sorry about that, guys. I always have the live stream running on my computer during the countdown to make sure everything was looking and sounding right. Hey, Donnie. Hey, Eric. How's it going? So, I know you two have seen, and anybody else who watches this video afterwards and doesn't watch it live, over at HLI, they've come out with some really simple flasher boards. They are awesome. I've got a couple on order. Once I get them, I'll work on my Voyager. I'm going to do some demo videos for Kenny so that he's got something that he can actually show on the site, because I have some ideas. I've got things like PCB boards, or just PC boards, some older ones that have the tag points, or the points are linked. Looked a little bit this afternoon, couldn't find them anymore. These are ones I picked up about 7 years ago. Absolutely, Mark. Happy Friday. Actually, Donnie, you do see the Enterprise in the background. That is the poster, the life-size poster. Decided to hang that up today. And so, so with these boards, they're really, for a basic starship, they're awesome. I know the guys who are chatting right now. Yes, don't forget about rebuilding Eric. We can rebuild him. Eric's about to have some, well, not just about 5 weeks is going to have some major back surgery, and we've all been kidding about how we're going to rebuild him. And somewhere along the line, tattoo him with Goofy, because Goofy is his enemy. So, yeah, these boards are really cool. If all you're looking for is basic starship lighting, where you're going to have the strobes that are flashing at a shorter interval and your beacons that are flashing, you know, the red and green lights, they're awesome, because then after that, all you need to do is do some basic wiring for just LED strip. I am looking forward to getting these boards, and they're just the tip of the iceberg on what HLI has planned for. And that's at hobbylinkinternational.com, if I am not mistaken. I don't know if I put the community into the... actually, there isn't the community in the description on this video yet. It will be right after I finish it. Yeah, Donnie. I stared at monitors all day too, Mark. Donnie has, you know, Donnie is giving of himself because his job is needing the chips that they can't get from overseas. But HLI managed to get their hands on some chips, and so Donnie is giving one for the team so that we can all have flasher boards. So, a little bit of news on where things are with Eagle Moss. I have another, the Pack 4 was charged. I got charged for that one last week. No new charges from Eagle Moss for the Enterprise D, so I am fully caught up. It's probably going to slow down on the Enterprise to once a month now, unfortunately. I'm not going to change my subscription. I'm still going to get the packs as quickly as I can. Good news on the Ecto. Right now, issue 14 is the only one I have. But issue 15 and 16 are in the mail, and issue 17 got charged today. So I'm going to be able to make some progress on the progress on the Ghostbusters build. Yes, Kenny did say you can hook up LED strips. The only caveat on those boards is you have to, he's going to sell them as kits with pre-resisted LEDs, or the way I'm buying it, I'm just buying the boards themselves, which, because I have plenty of LEDs, you just have to remember to put resistors on your LEDs. I'm looking for Eric. I know you need more Enterprise, Donnie. How about Voyager once I get my flasher boards? Looking for Eric to say something about resistors, but you have to resistor your single LEDs, and you can put 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 2, 1.8 SMDs, anything, any LED you can hook to anything else. You can hook to these boards up to 20 separate segments, meaning 20 LEDs per leg, or 3 LED sections of LED tape. Doesn't work. work on mine this weekend, Donnie. Yeah. No, Donnie's or Mark's is going to be working some more on his enterprise. The what I was going to say, if you use LED strips, don't use LED tape. All right, I mean not LED tape. If you use the LED tape, don't use resistors because it's already pre-resisted. I pulled down the instructions for the boards today, read over them. They're very well written, very easy to understand. But these boards, unlike a lot of them, instead of having 2 points for each LED, a positive and a negative, you have one positive wire that goes into the board, and you also run that power, the positive power, out to your LEDs, and then the black wire, the negative wire, that goes back to the board, the return, that's what you hook into the board. Okay, so it'll be interesting. Also so Ghostbusters is going to get caught up pretty quick. Enterprise is caught up. X-Wing I'm going to start bringing back in because I need to finish it. I have all the parts. And then the Terminator, which I'm coming close to having all the parts on, I picked up something for him off of eBay. I'm not going to pay for not faulting their gun, but their gun needs a lot of work. It looks to me personally like a hunk of plastic. So this will be what my Terminator is holding in his hands. It's a kid's toy. It looks fine like this. When you do that, it becomes a kid's toy, but holding it, with the Terminator holding it, I think it'll be pretty awesome. So that Terminator is going to start getting worked on and get done a little bit sooner. So lots going on, and announcement of a new thing that will be coming on once I finish once I get the last pack of the Terminator. I'll be doing a Grower Models 1/200 scale Bismarck. So video for Mark on the Discord. Now I'm curious, Spence, what is it? Welcome, Spence, by the way. I'm just going to pop over to Discord for a second, just see what it is. I think, yeah, that's that board on a breadboard. Cool. Very cool, Spence. I'm glad to see that. So, I've rattled my mouth for about 7 minutes now, so let's flip over to the Droid Cam if it plays nice. My lighting is a little bit different than normal tonight because I've discovered there's a way that I can avoid having the strobing effect because I'm using a cell phone camera, and it's not the LED lights that I use interfere with it, and so I get strobing. With these LED lights that I've got up above it right now, I'm not getting the strobing. But if I turn on the one that's right here, I'll start getting strobing all over the place. Not bad, but enough to be an irritant. And unfortunately, the other phone that I had that doesn't pick up the strobing isn't working right now with Droid Cam. Okay, so here's the magazine. Got my screws ready. Got my screwdrivers ready, like I haven't had the past couple of streams. And here's what we're going to be working on. More of the bench in part 47. More of the bench on part 48. I think this is actually a sidewall in part 49 and 50. I think this is one of the jump seats in the back. So before I get started on that, just in case, because it's been a couple of weeks, probably closer to 5 or 6 weeks, since it's been on camera. Oof! This thing is heavy. And it doesn't, well, yeah, it barely fits. So here's where we're at. This is the front bench, the dash, Dash isn't supposed to be installed yet. I've just got it set in here. The hood, part of the hood, and the headlights. Should start getting more body parts soon. And I'm still contemplating, because right now, the way the lights are set up on the here on the grill, only the headlights are going to work. These flashers don't work, neither do the fog lights. I may or may not, probably not, because of the amount of stuff I've got going on, probably won't be doing the any upgrades to the lighting. So, heavy. Oh, my shoulders getting sore because I had a rotator cuff repaired several years ago, and it's starting to bother me. So, sorry guys, I get thirsty doing this. I get thirsty when I talk a lot, which is why I drink constantly. So, stage 47. I'll set this out of the way. And I will tell you, it's been long enough that I actually had to look and figure out where I was at on the Ecto. I got confused, was like, wait a minute, where is stage 13? I actually had to go back and look at my own video to see where I was at on this build. And oh, by the way, guys. Oh, wow. I feel for you, Mark. I really do. Although one of the most humorous things I ever said to my wife came out of that surgery. Middle of the night, I'm sitting there, my pain meds have worn off, and I'm in extreme pain. And she said, on a scale of from 1 to 10, what is your pain? And I said, without batting an eye, 347. Anybody who ever has that surgery, as you're coming out, when you come out, oh, not good, Mark. That's the one that's starting to bug me. But as you're coming out of it, if you haven't had it, and so you don't know, do not hesitate to take the pain pills while the spinal block is still working, or the nerve block is still working, because you don't know what kind of what pain is until you run into something like that. Eric is the only one here, I think, that knows what that kind of pain is, and that's because of his back. Okay, so assembling the front seat base. Begin with this, which is rubber with foam in it. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure who it was, but they can talk to my answering machine and probably be blocked later. So you set this up. Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. So take this part here. Yes, we're gonna fix that. Eric's gonna be fixed. Never say that to a dog. So this slides in on top of the foam. And these tabs, not sure if this is going to be, if this lighting is good enough for this. I've got a combination of outdoor light and the lights above, and I've got black on black parts. So if you guys can't see something, just say something in the chat that you can't see it, and I will deal with the strobing. Actually, you'll deal with the strobing. I'll just have better light. So yeah, there's several tabs here that go over, wrap from the other side, from this rubberized piece, over, and I think that's at least got them all in the general place. And if you can see how the tabs are here, and they're going to hold the cushion, the seat cushion down, and you can I don't know if, I don't think you can see, but it's actually deflecting pretty well like a seat. So these are, I didn't even put my screws away. This is how I practice with this one is. I am. So we have MP screws, which is a new type of screw. So I'm going to peel that and put the screws in there. And if anybody's wondering, because I know that Eric's got some people that watch when they do the Mini Madness. Eric and I coordinated because he is not feeling well these days. You know, closer it gets to his surgery, his back is getting really bad, and so he may or may not do Mini Madness before his recovery. So I may pop in on Fridays to add a little bit to what's available to watch. I may actually, with it starting to get just warm and sunny and stuff outside, I may actually get froggy and start doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, just because I've got so much going on. So I need, let's see, 3, 6, looks like about 12 of the MP screws. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was close. It's 11. And the MP screws, because of that rubberized tab, I haven't gotten to minis yet. Not yet. You kidding? I have enough going on already. And minis are not in the near future, because I'm walking a tightrope right now between all of my part works to make sure that I don't end up not being able to so I want to avoid not being able to afford buying something like, oh, I don't know, the Enterprise. So here's what the screw has: a little bit of a flange on it that holds it down, will hold it down a little bit. We could do that, except for I think Eric's spine's a little bit longer than the Terminator. He's only 1/2 scale. The Terminator, not Eric. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these all the way down, because the tabs are all right there. Would be kind of interesting to see Eric with a 1/2 scale spine, though. Sorry about that, guys. I did not realize I was out of camera. Let me see. Let me just adjust it so that there. Bring it back a little bit so you don't have to see my protruding gut, but far enough to where if I get to the edge of the table like this, you can still see what I'm doing. Eric only needs part of it. Eric needs a party in his back? What? True, but then the Terminator won't be able to stand up and hold his gun. Kind of looking forward to that. Because my plan is, where I'm going to put him is in the center of the room, standing there with the gun, so that the display room is actually the first room you see in the house. So when you walk in, he'll be standing there with a machine or with a minigun guarding my models. I'm not giving the gun to Eric. He will blow it up. He blows things up. Which is, I don't understand. He was an engineer. I would think that engineers would fix things. And it looks like it's okay if he did, because I know about his back, and his schedule is really screwy. It looks like Eric may have gone off to La La Land. I just checked on Discord and he's not showing as active. Yeah, he could use the gun to blow things up. First thing he'd do though is take the resistors out of the LEDs, and then he'd blow the LEDs up. So let me pop that last one in there. It's not the last one on this side. And there's a base that goes over top of, is going to go over top of these as well. Actually, I think this is the base that goes over top of these, so you won't even see them. Or not so much you won't see them. The tabs shouldn't rip, but if they do, it should still hold it in. Yes, resistors are futile. He said that the other day during a chat session on Discord, and we were talking about, I think we were talking about his Enterprise, his Disco Prize. When he said resistors are futile, I said, of course they are. It's because you're using LED tape. And resistors have been futile around me a couple of times. I mean, I don't think I've done it on a video, but I do know that I've inadvertently put 18 volts through an LED before and had no resistor on it. That makes things really interesting because the LED will actually literally explode. Almost dropped my screwdriver. Can see that happening. Drop the screwdriver and then the carpet monster wins with the screwdriver, and I'd be like, what the hell? How did that happen? So if I sneeze or anything to that, hey Kenny, how's it going? If I sneeze or anything like that tonight, guys, it's because I just mowed the yard, and my wife, when she came back from a quick run to the store, picked up some Benadryl, but I have not had any of it yet. Okay, that should be good. And when I was looking over the instructions today, this kind of threw me. I was like, it never says that this is this part from stage 13. What you do is you take these, and it's same as always. It's a couple of, let's see, a couple of pins, holes for screws. The opposite here, pins. Pins for those small pin, or holes for the pins, and then some screw holes. And this goes on here. Let's see. I don't think it matters. I don't think there's a left and a right. No, they say the same thing, and I don't think it matters which way it goes on. Actually, it does, because there's two screw holes, and this screw hole has to be down here. so those two holes are visible. I'm just trying to figure out where these pins go into. I wasn't going far enough up. Interesting. Oh, never mind. I'm sitting here looking at these. I'm looking at these holes here, these 4 holes that are holding this part on, thinking those are the holes for the pins. That's awesome, Kenny. That is very awesome. I'm looking very forward to getting those boards. Let me go ahead and open up AP. I need 4 of them suckers. Oh, and even though the weather is going to be a little bit rainy this weekend, we're probably doing rocks this weekend a little bit, which is going to be a lot of fun if it's raining. Although one of the things that was holding up the progress was my wife we're doing a street light out there, not a full-on street light, but one that looks like a street light right next to the front door, and that was going to cause me some issues. It would help if I put these on the right way. I'm trying to put the screws in from the wrong side, but that was going to cause me some issues because I got to dig a hole, you know, so we can do the light and everything else. My wife has changed her mind. She's going to put it into a larger flower pot. No live stream of rock. You'll find out how exactly how decrepit I am, how slow I move. But we were going to do the street light into the ground, and I was hesitant because it's going to be a pain digging the hole and everything else. Well, now we're going to do some of the rocks into a flower pot that she just bought. Once they're in the flower pot, she's got some quick set concrete. We're going to put the pole in first, get everything set up. She's got some quick set concrete, and then we're going to wire it to the we've got some lights out there already that are on a daylight or nighttime timer. They come on at dusk and run for 4 hours. We're going to run that with a plug over to those lights, so that we can just set it up and let it run. And of course, with it being my wife, it is a Mickey head that the street light is. I may take some more pictures, though. I will tell you, one of the best things I bought when we got this house was my little wheelbarrow. It's not the traditional kind with only one wheel in the front. It's got 2 wheels in the front. It's not a very big one. It's made of plastic, but it'll carry 5 bags of rocks at once. Okay, so that's one. Oops, almost dropped that one. That one's on there. Yeah, I may pull the floor pan out, because this is actually going to fit on the floor of the Cadillac. All right, Mark, see you in a bit. Mark is going to go work on his Enterprise, just a guess. Either that, or I think he was at work, so he might be finally getting off work, because he is on the West Coast, and it's 4:30 over there, so he's probably getting home or getting off right now. And that's the thing. I do these streams a little bit later. With summer coming on, I may start doing them even later, doing them at 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. That way it's a little bit easier for people on the West Coast. And because I've been watching Kenny stream since I was on the West Coast, and sometimes it was a challenge to be able to get into the stream at all. I'd get off work and Kenny would be off, and I'm like, oh, missed the whole thing. Like I said, I'm thinking about it. I mean, there's really no reason why I couldn't. No, damn Kenny and his lack of streams these days. I mean, I moved 2 time zones over so I could catch your streams, man. And then you stopped. Something about had to buy a house and shit. Okay. Yes, thank Kelly for shipping for those for us, Kenny. So, those are the tracks that are going to mount to the floor, since it's the bottom of the seat. Now this is just going to drop on here like so. And I think it actually fits inside. No, it doesn't fit inside the rubber. It just sits on there like that. And I want to, hopefully, I'm getting it onto the lugs for the screws, which of course I didn't show. There's 8 lugs for screws on here, matching up to the 8 holes on here. And hopefully I can get these lugs to pop down into these holes so that everything will line up. This one, it's a good kit. It is a really good kit. If you know, I know right now you can't because the house is sucking you dry on everything, but if you start working on it, remember that Eagle Moss will ship up to, I think it's up to 4 packs a week. I'm not positive, but they will ship more packs, but they'll ship more packs at a time, but they will not let you buy it outright. I do too, actually. That's hence the Lego Ecto one that I recently built, and I now have a light kit for it. Actually, it's not just a light kit. There are for the Lego Ecto one. And it's not this version of it, it's the version from the movie that comes out this summer with the kids. But it's a larger kit, and it's one of the few out there that has the light and sound. Really looking forward to putting that in there. Once I do get it on there, I will probably pop it into a stream somewhere. Maybe even just do a quick 5-minute stream of it, or not stream, but a quick 5-minute video of it and the sounds that it makes. And it is actually sitting on the shelf right next to. No, it's not next to where this one. I'm keeping this one, but it is in the same room. I'm going to end up with a shelf full of just Ghostbusters because of the amount of stuff. And I also have an Ecto 1A 1/24th scale to do a second time. I like that kit a lot. Ended up picking up another one for pretty reasonably. And my skill set's a little bit different than it was when I did it. Wow, 7 years ago. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, that's where the actual thing is. Where the. or the screw that's holding it on. Around the corners, it's popping out underneath the plastic bottom. It does. Time really flies. I'm hoping the next 10 years or next 5 years and 9 months and X number of days, I haven't looked recently, will fly. I haven't looked since last week, so it's like 7 days or 7 days less. But hopefully it will fly really fast, and then I'll be doing this stuff full time. You know, Eric has made jokes about 24/7, me 24/7 streaming. It won't be quite that much, but it'll probably end up being streaming once a day when I finally retire. I'm so looking forward to that day. And these still tilt back and forth. I wonder, hang on just a second, guys. I'm going to mute for just a second. Okay, I'm back. I just had the, that's not fair. You shouldn't be ahead of me. You're younger than me. Turned on the light that's right here over top. Strobing is there a little bit, but it's getting too dark for me to be able to see, and the camera's not picking up stuff. Of course, on the other hand, Eric beat us all. But I would not like to have his circumstances so that I could beat everybody to retirement. So I'm going to pull this. I'm pulling things off the chassis right now, guys. Pull this over and set it. It doesn't go on here. It goes the other way. Put my seats in backwards. Doesn't go on here yet. There's a pin. So that's what it's going to look like once the backs are on and it actually goes in. So, I like it. Pretty cool. Wow. I need to dust my engine. Alright, so stage 48 has a few more parts. Oh, and it does actually have you put it in the floor pan. I just looked down and saw that. That's cool. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that is our newly set up hot tub, which we still haven't gotten in. We've been too busy trying to get the chemicals to balance out. But by tomorrow, whether the chemicals are balanced or not, we're testing that thing out. Right, and cool. These have are labeled for right and left, except I'm putting it right and left as I'm looking at it, but it should actually be, I'm sure, right and left this way, with this being left because that's actually the left seat. The back. Side. You mean, Kenny, you mean the new Godzilla and King Kong? That was really a good movie. Speaking of movies, we're now fighting with the warranty company because our movie room TV just turned it. We turned it off and it hasn't turned back on since. We have a 5-year extended warranty on that thing, and they're fighting with us on it. First, we had to fight with them to get them to even recognize that that TV was under warranty. Okay, so we take 46C. Left's front, and this is the right. More screws. It was really good. Just like, if you get a chance, the new Mortal Kombat is amazing compared to the old ones. Not worried about that, Kenny. I am sure those boards are gonna last for a long time, and I'm hoping the LEDs last as long as some of them we've got, because I don't know. I know I've posted pictures before of my wife's drama masks that she did, and those drama masks have been on essentially for the last 7 years, and they have not an LED has burned out on them yet. Knock on wood. So that's a really good testimony for the length that LEDs will last. And shame on me, because I'm not saying what I'm doing. Let me grab the other piece and I'll show you. So it's the same thing as the other one. Got a piece of foam. This is this one for the right hand seat. Let's see, where's the label? Right here. You can, if you can see the R. And these tabs slip over to where there's 6 screws that are going to hold them onto the seat. I mean, the whole family's going, and you're actually going into a theater, correct? Are they making you wear masks, or how are they doing that? I hear my wife coming by. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, baby. Sorry, I don't mean to bother.
You're not? I was reading something. I was reading a comment. You have an STL of Godzilla and so you've got the files to print Godzilla and King Kong, if I'm reading that right. And oh, by the way, welcome back, Mark. Eric is not asleep. Eric is on Discord. Wonder if Eric is here as well. Eric, are you here? It would be. I'm kind of looking forward to going back to the theater. It will be kind of nice to eventually get back into the theaters, especially the theaters we have here that are here. We always go to the DX screen, which is the largest screen they have in the roughly, I think it's a 16-plex, and they have heated reclining seats with, between pairs of seats, the armrest can be lifted up. Really pretty cool. We've got similar seats in our movie room, except for the armrest can't be pulled up. It's okay, sweetheart. Murphy can talk. If he comes in here, I'll put him on camera. I'll lift him up and he'll show his panicked face to everybody. I haven't been to a drive-in in years, Shu. I want to say the last time we went to the drive-in, we watched, it was in Phoenix, and we watched Hercules, the Disney movie. Okay, just tightening these all up. Got them all threaded and now making sure that they're all tight. Murphy likes to talk. So this was the left one, so one of these should say left. Looking, there. That one says R. It's kind of weird. Drive-in you would think could be open regardless of this the mess that's going on, because you're not getting any, close to anybody at all. Bunch of AP screws here. I can see why. Mark's up in the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of stuff that's different up there. I know that because I'm from the Pacific Northwest originally. Hey Mark, you ever been up to Forest Grove? I know you're up in Bremerton, Washington, but have you ever been down into the Portland area and Forest Grove? Because my grandfather was one of the founding fathers of Forest Grove, Oregon. And where their farm was, if the Dewdrop Inn is still there, I'm not sure if it is, but the Dewdrop Inn, which was, or no, what was, yeah, it was Dewdrop Inn, which was a bar, which was right next to the Catholic girls' school that my mom went to. And their farm was down a little dirt road right next to the Catholic girls' school. Neat little place. And further back from their farm was the Porter farm, which lots of strawberries there. Cape Disappointment. Not even sure where that's at. But I'm guessing it's obviously on the Oregon coast. And I'd halfway be tempted to guess that it was probably somewhere near Tillamook. I haven't even looked if we have a drive-in nearby. Have to look sometime. Especially it's just me and the wife. So we could go in either of our mini SUVs. Cool. Of course, those are my really old stomping grounds. I want to say last time we were there 93 or 94. Back when I was still stationed in Germany. Come on. Doesn't look like that one's going in. Feels like it might be threaded. You mean the drive-in? is the oldest in the country, Mark? That's kind of cool. Speaking of oldest in the country, never realized it was a joke plaque as a kid. One of my dad's, or my dad's sister, because he had all brothers besides Ruthie, had a plaque in her house in Hillsboro, Oregon, that said that their house was the first house to be condemned in the United States in 18 something or other. And every time I saw that as a kid, I was like, wow, and it's still here. That is so wild. This is not good. That screw is not moving in, and it's not moving out. So let me see if I can pull it back out. It came back up pretty easily. Let me use a different one because that head's kind of strict. Come on. I'll try this one. Helps to have multiple screwdrivers just hanging around. Oh, that's much better. Let's see if this one goes in. That one's tight. There are aftermarket kits for the backs of these seats that would cover up those screw holes. I'm not going to worry about it. So this one, remove this part, these parts, turn this around, and like I said, the left seat goes on the left here. And that's 2 more or 4 more AP screws. So if you look, it has, you can see it here, screw holes. There's screw holes in the back here. I see a pin here in the back of the seat.
Murphy.
Same thing on the outside here. So there's going to be something that covers at least part of that up. I'm guessing it's going to be one of the side panels.
Seriously.
So let me get this one started. You okay, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The ham attacked me.
So what?
The ham attacked me.
The ham?
Yeah, it attacked me.
Bad ham. I shouldn't do it, sweetheart, but I'm going to. They're going to type it in there forever now. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Andrea, what's for dinner?
The attack of the ham.
I see. Andrea knows, or I talk about you guys enough in Kenny's videos, that she knows a lot of things that go on. Like the whole, hey Kelly, what's for dinner? Which Kelly's probably in the background now, and she's like, yep, there we go. Try this one instead. Because again, those screws are trying to... Well, now she has a sister in pain if anybody starts doing that to me all the time. Cool. Oh, you mean the... you're doing the bronze thing or copper thing, Mark? Tell me how that works out, and hopefully you're doing a video of it. If not, I want instructions. Alright, so that's got that seat back, and it does tilt a little bit. Like almost not quite as far as they did actually when these cars were made. Tell her she is welcome, and so are you, Kenny. That is awesome. 22 years is a fantastic milestone. Okay, now to do it all over. It's not a lot going on tonight. Let me put these away. Cool. I'm looking forward to that, Mark, because I want to know exactly what you did, because I haven't yet tried it. But I will be doing that on my big Enterprise, and if I can get it to work out, I'm going to do it on every Starship from now on. It's kind of late for the Voyager because the nacelles are already put together, but I love that effect. Okay, slide this one just like before, guys. Slide this inside of here. And just like on the seat bottom, all the tabs go inside. Let me get six. Get 6 of the screws out. Hopefully these won't give me any problems. There's that one. Tyson's behind me rolling on the floor and sneezing. Feel sorry for a couple of our dogs because they have really bad allergies. And we do on occasion give them half a Benadryl, because Benadryl works for them just as well as it works for us. I think that's on there. Three more screws on here to go. Tyson scratching himself and he bumped one of the storage bins I keep these models in. Keep falling off that screw. You know? Keep going back to that orange one. This one's working so much better than that. Oh yeah. It's because these screw heads are just in between the apexes I have. And I've just to let you guys know, I've gotten some work done on the shuttle tower. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get all of them done. 48 three LED strips of LED tape to solder and glue onto the tower. I've pulled the floors back off the central tower so that I can get the LED tape glued to it, and then I got to try and run all those wires down that central tower. pretty sure it should work pretty good. Alright, so all 8 of the screws, or all 6 of the screws, sorry, down. This slides in here like this. And here's the pin I was talking about. That pin and that hole there. I'm pretty sure something goes on with that. That should be the last of those screws for right now. So let me get out 6 of the AP screws. I'm not even going to mess with the orange screwdriver. I'm going to continue on with this one because it has been working really well. One, two. And then the DP screws that I put in that bin will hold the bench down to the floor. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. I just looked at the instructions, and these pieces will go wrap around the back. That's what that pin and those holes are for. That way, it kind of covers up a little bit. Not sure if I like the way that the rubber is warping, but it's not going to be visible for the most part. If you look, it's warping a little bit there, and you can barely see it, but right there is where it's warping. You can barely see it on camera. It's a lot more obvious in person, but on that side, that's going to get covered up by the those 2 parts I just showed. And on the other side here, it's in the middle of the car. That's that. Once this one's tight, get out 4 more of the AP screws. Actually, I'm going to give that one a shot earlier. That seemed like it was stripped out earlier. I don't think it was stripped. I think it was just the way I was using that other screwdriver. Come on. I think that's the stripped one, and if I can't get that one in, then I'm going to throw it away. It was just sitting there on the table staring at me. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's kind of funny. One of the things, my idiosyncrasies that I have from stuff I've done mechanically, where I cross every time I do screws, like here. There are 4 screws on this back. I did this one first, went down and across, and I'm going to do the same thing. I did the same thing on the other side. I do that all the time when I put screws into something that has multiple screws that are a distance away from each other. Don't know why I do it, but I do. And this one's not wanting to go in that hole. There we go. Yeah, this one here is the one that was stripped out, and I think it's maybe in there forever. Nope, it's coming out. It just isn't going all the way in, so it's being replaced. Much better. Much better. So that's all the screws in the back. Both seats flip back and forth. So let me get 2 LP screws, oh, I'll get 4 of the LP screws out so that I can do both sides. And again, even though I really don't need it, they're labeled right and left. Although it's a backwards R, L is okay. So like I said, let me see if I can angle this right. Come on. There. So you got the pin here. It's going into this hole right there. So go on there like that. You can see the 2 screw holes. So now if I can get it to stay there while I put the screws in. That's an awful big screw head, or a screw for that little tiny hole, or for a little tiny piece. That one's good. That one's good. And then the same on the other side here. Almost put the pin in the wrong hole. That's funny. Actually, Spence, what's really funny is that if they're perfectly synced, that means I'm getting mine 7 seconds before you are, because I've got the normal normal YouTube sound lag. That's funny that they were timed together. So there's that on either side, which I think, you can still see it, all the screws and everything, but I think that's perfectly fine, because the door panel should come right about there. So let me get the floor pan. And I think they learned a little bit of something with the Ecto, because the Ecto, the seats could slide back and forth, and they were a pain in the behind to get to fit in, especially because some people like me did carpet. I'm going strictly with the plastic or the rubber floor mats. I'm not going to add any carpet to it. So let me, that one. The problem with a magnetic screwdriver is if you don't hit the screw right first time, it comes right back out. That's one. That one started. The seat's hanging off down below. That one started. One more to start, and I'm going to crank them all down. Only seats and wheel cars went in this easy. So I've had to remove a seat or two in my time. That reminds me of 25 years ago when we were stationed in Germany and drove up to Frankfurt to get a brand new waterbed. We went up together to go and look at it and decide, look at the showroom and decide what we wanted. Following weekend, I went up with my Ford, I think it was a Granada, that I had taken every seat except for the driver's seat out to put that thing inside of it. So I managed to put a California King waterbed inside of a sedan, and everything was closed. So that's what the front seat pan and the front benches look like. Can't help it. I have to play with it. So now this can go sit back in here, and I'm actually going to I'm going to slide it back in where it was before with the I put the shaft for the steering wheel back through it. That. And that. So step 40, or stage 40, is, like I thought, is a side cabinet. And it looks like just two pieces to put onto it. Need to change this blade soon. It is getting very dull. Still sharp enough to cut the shit out of me, but not sharp enough to cut the plastic. EP screws. That is one thing that I'm glad that they're doing on the Enterprise build. They finally decided that we need, well, they did it on the, I want to say, was it R2-D2? They did a small one. They did a small one on the R2-D2. And the one on the Enterprise is a little bit of overkill. But that's okay. So this is got the side cabinet. It's unfortunate they didn't do something with hinges to make it able to open. But this is the phone cradle and the phone cradle bracket. This would be the bracket, and this is the cradle itself. The large hole here with the keyway goes to the top. This lug goes to the back, and then the keyway makes sure that this piece, let's see if I can get it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it. You can barely see it right there at the base of the post. There's a key there that makes it fit in there, or keeps it in there straight. So go on here like that. So many black parts in this thing. And then there's a pin down here at the bottom, a pin hole, and a pin on the bottom of this part here. Right here, that pin goes in that hole, putting 2 screw holes there, and 2 EP screws going each of those screw holes. Set that down for a second, get a screw on here. That one's, thought I had that one started. Felt like it was started, but it wasn't. The part just fell off when I pulled my hand away.
Babe,
Yep.
let me know when you're done and I'll fix it dinner.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. She takes so good care of me. Okay, that's got that one started. Tighten that one down. Don't know. I asked her that earlier. And she said, well, actually it was the ham that attacked her. But I don't know what she made with it. So there, in all its glory, and of course it's black on black, so you can't see it. There. That is the phone cradle. And that, after all that stuff I did in the other two, that's it for stage 49. And I wonder, I've got too much stuff on here, but I'm just going to see. Yeah, I'm not positive. Oh, actually, I can't put it in there because I don't have the next floor section. I want to say issue 17 is going to be huge. I think that's where the body parts start coming in. See, the issue 17 or issue 19, I've seen some pictures of it, and it's got huge, huge parts. All right, just because. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is the jump seat. Like I said earlier. Oh, by the way, Eric, welcome back. That is jump seat base. It says jump seat inner. Frame part for the base. Looks like part for the cushions. The connector. A few screws. This is going to fold over that thing somewhere. And a few, like I said, a few screws. Wow. Meatball Hero and calamari. What a combination. Although I have to admit, I'm not a huge calamari fan. But I'll eat raw fish. We depending on what's going on and how we do shopping, we get sushi every couple weeks. Meatball parm, that's good too. Yeah. Tomorrow we will probably, well, yesterday we had Philly cheesesteak, but not Philly cheesesteak because it was made in Illinois by an Austrian. And she was worried it was going to taste funky. She put Caribbean jerk marinade on it, and it was yummy. But she couldn't do anything like that tonight because what we did, that griddle we bought, that gas griddle for outdoors. Yeah, when she cleaned the griddle yesterday, the gas ran out. So we've made it through one bottle and I've got two empty bottles, so I'll be running to Home Depot or the gas station, something tomorrow to get the refill. So let me see. Does it have any indication as to which one of it is which? Of course not. But okay, it didn't show in the picture, but looking at it, there's a hole here and here, so obviously something's going to go through there. So this is the one they were talking about. Take this and 50A. Yep. Right here are the lugs that are going to go through that one piece. This goes, there's four raised spots here. They go into the seat, giving you, because the slots on the slots on here. So Kenny, just out of curiosity, because my lighting system sucks, you've got those flat panel lights behind you or in front of you when you do your streams and your videos? Veggie fried rice is not bad. Fried rice is good overall. So 4 screws on here, and this is the back, I believe, not the bottom. What's wrong with sushi, Mark? You're just eating eating fish that hasn't been cooked. And I like sushi, but it wouldn't break my heart to never have it again. Andrea loves sushi, so when she wants to have sushi, we'll have sushi. I know people who will not eat sushi to save their life because they just are like, ugh. And then that's something I just thought of, something we need to go do again. One of the hibachi places where the guy sits there, he's banging the spatulas on the grill. Ah, so what you're saying, Kenny, is where you do your videos on the surface of the sun. I've done that before. I've lit places that well before, and this is really good light. It's pretty good lighting, except for the cameras are strobing because of the LEDs. What I really need to do is figure out a way to have the reflected light instead, because the reflected light, I believe, if I was to turn the light right here above me upside down and have it pointing at the ceiling, that would take care of a lot of that strobing. Problem is it's an LED that is shaped like a fluorescent bulb. Okay, so this, of course, they don't show which way it's supposed to go, but I'm thinking there's recesses here. Now I'm thinking it goes this way. If I can get it to line up. Oh yeah, it goes that way. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. If it turns out I'm wrong, I'll be taking things apart later. But I'll take them apart on camera because I make mistakes so that you guys can watch me and laugh. Because if Kenny ever does this, he's going to do the same thing, because it's going to be a couple of years since I've done it and he's going to forget. Hang on. Thought I had it lined up. Make sure I'm not grabbing the wrong part. Nope, that goes on there like that. Okay. So I know that on that main page, I'm guessing you're trying to get to the store page. That main page gets screwy every now and then. Up at the top, I believe there should be a thing that, the 3 lines that you can click on. And that drop down will let you click on the store. Or I believe that on the Discord general chat there is a link directly to the boards. Let me see real quick. Wow. I got a critical stop. Uh-oh. I think we broke the site. Yeah, I just tried to go to the site and it's doing the same thing. When Kenny comes back, we'll just tell him and he'll get, I think it's Tom who fixes it usually. He'll get Tom or Paul on it. Or maybe I think Spence does work on there. Spence, do you fix the site as well? Because apparently Mark went out there just now and broke it. Same here. I just work here. Right over there. Over my shoulder. Okay, so this tray thing, this is the tray thing. HP. So I should reboot in the middle of the live stream? That's not a good idea. I don't think it will work. Okay. So there's a couple of screw holes there. A couple of screw holes there. There's an indentation where this is going to sit down into. Yep, hate it when that happens. I hope they rolled a 2 because 1 is a critical fail and the server might blow up. That would be bad. Funny thing about this piece is that they've got pins everywhere on this to hold it, so you can line it up, except on this one. This piece has no holes, or not holes, but no pins. So I'm kind of faking it until it gets in there and actually threads in. So that is on there like that. Not sure. Oh, yeah, actually those screw holes on either end here are going to go into these lugs so that the seat gets held in, because this back will stay up against the wall. Not Kurt Fuller. So set this aside, take this one. We're going to take this piece here, like I said earlier, these holes here, these holes on either side, these lugs have to go into. And the posts go towards the foam rubber because the slots are there. So a lot going on while putting this piece in. Not bad. So I've got that first tab across. Get this next tab across. I'm going to go for the front instead of the side, just because. And there. By the way, just because I started watching it yesterday, and we're all pretty much Star Trek buffs, does anybody know what miniseries LeVar Burton got his start in? Blew my mind. I'd heard it before, forgot about it, and then I ran into it yesterday while I was watching this on, I think it was HBO Max. Does anybody remember what LeVar Burton first starred in? He played as a 16-year-old kid who grew up in the movie. Yep. I had forgotten about that, Mark, until I saw his name. I was like, that's right. Lately I've gone back and watched several of these older shows that I watched when I was a kid. I watched Shogun. And if I remember right, on the remake of Roots, I think he produced it, or he was actually in there as well, but I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that. It's kind of interesting to watch him as a very, very young man. I mean, literally as a kid in that movie, because his voice has not changed in 77 was when that came out, so that's 45 years. That's kind of cool. That is really cool to have met him. All right, so this. Oh, this is pretty cool. What this is for? That goes on here like this. So that loop here goes onto this bracket. There's a pin and 2 screw holes. I want to say Donnie had that problem too, but he did something. It wasn't. I don't think it was actually the password because I didn't have to put my password in at all. I don't think, but I don't know that it's your HLI password. And I wouldn't worry because when I looked last time, you know, there was looked like on Discord it was going to be a mad run on them, and they were saying there was 20 of them that they had available. And earlier when I looked, there were still 16 available, and that was about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. If it comes down to it, Mark, since I ordered 2, and if they run out, let me know, and I will send one of them over to you. So that is going to be the support for the seat when it folds down. Okay, so the only thing I don't like is it doesn't fold all the way up. It still sticks out a little bit even when it's folded. So we've got the hole here on either side here to line up with these holes. A couple of AP screws go in here. Matter of fact, I think. Well, I'm sure they will. But, you know, want to make sure that Mark gets his, just because he's one of the bunch of us that are always, and there's a lot of people that are always on the site, but from what I see, he's one of them that are on there at least once to 18 times a day. Get this one threaded, and I'm obviously not going to torque these down the way I do with most other things. And see, and that's the thing too, Spence, is that I would expect the orders will pick up once people have bought them and start putting them into videos. And and that's the thing is, so far I've done all my own boards. There's a couple that I've bought, but I've never gone to not Cult TV, man. What is it? I forget his name. The only other place I've bought boards from, and is the idiot that went out of business and then came back in. Tenna Controls I haven't bought anything from. Just not because they're bad, just because I've never bought anything from them. Okay, that's better. Well, no, that's not better. I was going to say that's better because now the leg's folded away, but the leg is supposed to be out when it's down like that. So yeah. There's the seat in all its glory. Leg folds down. Let me get this part back. And that's what that big thing was there. That's weird. So, on the back of here, there's a pin, 2 lugs with screw holes, pin hole on this part we just did, and 2 screw holes with sockets for those lugs. set that down there like that. And then 2 IP screws. Actually, I dropped one of the screws outside the box, so put that one back. Yeah, and matter of fact, I think that's what I did as well, Donnie, is I didn't log in. I ordered it, and then I got an email that let me set my password for that account. Because I hadn't bought anything from, don't hurt me, Kenny, I hadn't bought anything from HLI prior to this. I won the Chippy mug on off of Space Loot, I think. So that's got that in there, and that's that piece finished. This folds down and folds up. It will go, let me see if I can get this back off of here. I want to say that this jump seat is going to go about here. I'm not sure which one of these lugs is going to go for it. I think this one is the one that, I think that's the one that goes between. Actually, you know what? Just looking at this, the way this fits in here, there's still more stuff to go underneath here, because it would not sit on the floor like that. So, a little bit of progress, actually a lot more progress than in the last couple. Got the jump seat done. Got the bench seats for the front seat done. Over the last few times we finished the dash, so it's coming along. Really happy with this. And Kenny's gonna eventually spend all of his money on it. Okay, well, I can't troubleshoot that for you. Well, of course you haven't ordered from the shop, Kenny. You order from other stuff, from other places. Like I said the other on Wednesday, I'm right at my normal time, about an hour and a half, well, just over an hour and a half. So let me switch over. So got a lot done, got a lot of parts coming in, like I said earlier when I first started up, got a lot of stuff coming in, you know, that for building. It's gonna be a lot of fun. At least I'm having a lot of fun. I think you guys are enjoying it as well, otherwise you wouldn't show up. You know, I'm at a loss. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. Just put in a bunch of pieces. Looking forward to Sunday. We're not sure if I'm going to work on the F-16 for the for Kenny's member group build for the veterans, the military veterans group build. I need to work on that. I've started working a little bit more on the space shuttle. I want to get that out of the way so I can concentrate on either the Titanic or the Pearl after that. Yeah, I think we all had a long week. Even Eric had a long week with his trip to Minnesota and back. So I'm going to call it a stream. Those of you who have not before, I thought you didn't work this weekend, Kenny? Or is Saturday a non-OT day? Thanks, Kenny. I'm going to call it a stream. Those of you that have not are not subscribed, subscribe, or not, completely up to you. No pressure. I'm doing this because I have fun with it. If you're new to the stream, this is your first time, stop by Hobby Link International. It is a great place, especially for model builders, or if you don't build and you just like to watch people build them. That's also a great place because a lot of us have channels and we list them on there. We post pictures, whole 9 yards. Another good couple sites to look at. I see they asked for Saturday or for OT before you left. Another few good sites to look at is Mark Schumann, Donnie Dougherty, or Mark Schuh, sorry. Rascals Hobbies, and Spencer Wolf. Those are guys that sometimes show up on the Sunday live stream. Speaking of which, we will be live again this Sunday starting at noonish Central Time. And it'll be 3, 4, 5, not sure how many guys just hanging out, cameras pointing at the bench, talking to each other while we build. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch. I think you've been there a couple of times, Donnie. So have a great night. Have a great weekend. It's Friday night where I'm at. Sun's gone down. It's, like I said, it's a weekend. I got beverage. So I will, if not before, I will talk to you on Sunday and look forward to seeing you. Hope you enjoyed the show.